Hey, welcome back to Takeoff History. And on today's episode, we're going to be going over the Vanguard TV-3 failure. So back during the 1950s, the Soviet Union had pissed off the US pretty bad by broadcasting communist messages from space with Sputnik 1 and 2. So, they weren't going to let that one slide. Creating the Vanguard series of rockets, they created Test Vehicle 1, Test Vehicle 2, and Test Vehicle 3, TV-1, 2, and 3 respectively. So TV-1 and 2 didn't make it into orbit. TB3, on the other hand, they were so certain they had everything right that if they were going to make it work, that they were going to televise this one. So, day one, they get TV3 up, starting off with the TV3 having a problem of it can only launch in winds up to 17 miles per hour, and they were unfortunately blowing at 20 that day. On top of that, they had a leaking oxygen disconnect valve threatening the entire rocket. Well, you might ask, why is it a problem if they have a leaking oxygen disconnect valve? Well, these rockets, being liquid fueled, have the problem of they need the fuel in there to be structurally sound. It's part of the structure at that point. It can't support the weight otherwise. So, they scrub the launch. The leaking oxygen disconnect valve, the wind's blowing too quick, all too much for them to deal with. So, next day, everything's looking right. They got the leaking oxygen disconnect valve fixed. They're going to get this thing into the air no matter what today. So they launch it. Gets 4 feet into the air, and it falls back down and explodes on the launch pad. This is very unfortunate. What's even more unfortunate is the very next day, the Soviet delegate to the UN asked an American delegate if they would like funds that they had earmarked for technologically backward nations in response to the TV3's public failure. This insult, in my opinion, would start a grudge the US would not let go of. Well, I hoped you enjoyed this episode. Shoot me a subscription and a like if you did. I'd greatly appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.